I'm the mental therapist, and today we are delving into one of the most emotionally raw and soul-bearing bands out there right now, Sleep Token, and looking at some of the most powerful mental health messages that we can take from their music, their lyrics, and their legacy. Sleep Token's music genuinely creates so much emotion within the fandom, and it's often spoken about how much their music and lyrics deeply resonate with people out there and just seems to hit home. And I feel like it's not just because the music is written in such a complex and emotion-provoking type of way, with the ups and downs and the softer moments compared with the heavier moments. I believe that it's because the lyrics are so relatable as well. They capture human experience so well. You know, complex relationships, spirituality, identity, or just the existential experience that we have as humans. Sleep Token calls us to question things so much within ourselves, and I think that's why it's so powerful. So naturally, there's a lot to unpick in this video, so let's just get started. But first, if this corner of the internet where music meets mental health resonates with you, then there's plenty more where that came from, trust me. Just hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an upload. Let's go. Lesson number 1. It is totally okay to feel deeply. It's okay to expose yourself, not in a creepy way. You know, like, I mean, the deepest parts of you, like, I feel like it's just getting worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be sensitive and vulnerable. And Sleep Tokens show us that they don't shy away from this. Oh no. They embrace it and lean into it. Tricky emotions and vulnerabilities are not to be feared. They are to be honoured and expressed, unless of course doing so would put you at risk. This is evident in songs like Jaws, for example, where Vessel says, "Show me those pretty white jaws, show me where the delicate stops, show me what you've lost and why you're always taking it slow, show me what wounds you've got, and show me love." That shows like a desire for openness and authenticity, and to stop with the isolation and distancing. Because think about it, like, show me what wounds you've got and then you can show me love. It's like, I need to see those parts of you so that you know that I'm going to be here and I'm going to support you. There is nothing you could say that would drive me away. You can then show me love because you know that you're safe. And I always say that leaning into your emotions and your vulnerabilities can help us navigate our way through life, because they're trying to communicate to us. And once we express them and lean into them, it can help us move into our authentic self. Lesson 2. Love can be both healing and destructive. Oh, don't we know it? Love in the world of Sleep Token is never simple, but love in the human world as well is also never simple. Or I guess it can be when it's healthy, but how many of us can relate to the kind of love that is just so back and forth and so toxic? And Sleep Token highlight this so much. We can so often end up in these relationships that just feel so unbalanced and contain so much friction within them. And they're just not healthy for us, they're toxic for us. And Sleep Token point out a lot of the time where love can be easy and simple versus explosive. One of my favourite lyrics, for example, in Take Me Back to Eden is, "We were tangled up like branches in a flood. We're stuck together and just floating, bobbing along in this environment that's messy and chaotic and devastating sometimes, but we're stuck together, going through it all together." On the contrary, we've got lyrics like, "Seems your heart is locked up and I still get the combination wrong," which is a lyric from The Love You Want, which just goes to show that sometimes we feel like we're trying, we're trying to work this person out, but nothing we do ever seems like it works. You can't seem to get someone to love you in the way that you need to be loved. Maybe they hurt you, or they're not very nice to you, or maybe you just speak different languages, like love languages, you know, and it's really hard to just kind of meet in the middle and maybe you're on different paths, you want different things in life, and it's just really, really hard because you want them to come to your side of seeing things, but it doesn't always work that way. Or maybe you feel rejected by somebody. These experiences are all so human, but I suppose moreover, it shows that if this sounds like you are not alone. Lesson number 3. Emotional suppression does not work forever. In the song Hypnosis, which is my favourite Sleep Token song, seems to be all about distraction and like emotional avoidance. And then the very last lyric is, I am almost under, which just goes to show the emotional weight and how suffocating it can feel when you suppress your emotions in that way. It cannot last. There needs to be an outlet for your emotions at some point. And it can feel so drowning when you sit on your emotions and bottle them up, don't say anything, don't express how you feel, and aren't honest. So it just teaches us a bit of a lesson about authenticity, coming back to lesson 1. Before we continue, I just want to take a few tiny little seconds just to let you know that you can now become a channel member. How exciting is this? If you are a channel member, you will get access to videos early, members only shorts, shout outs, and loads of other perks. Plus, I have really big ideas about how I want to use this platform for greater good and give back to the community. So becoming a channel member really helps me with that too. Now, let's continue. Lesson 4, rituals or routines can be helpful. Now, let me be clear, we are not talking about the kind of rituals that come along with something like OCD. That is a whole different ballgame and a whole different video. However, there is a lot of messaging within the Sleep Token realm, fandom, about things like live shows being rituals and songs being offerings or contributions. And I kind of see this in the way of like self-care or self-nurturing in a way, almost like little gifts to yourself. Things like self-care, medication, spiritual practices, religious practices. Don't all recoil at me, metalheads. It can help some people. Basic routine stuff like getting enough sleep, getting enough water, nourishing yourself, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if Sleep Token says it, we should all do it. Go. Now, drink some water, okay? Lesson 5, healing isn't linear. If you watch my caramel reaction video, this will feel familiar to you. He says a line in that song, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. And I feel like this is such a sad lyric when we hear it, but ultimately it doesn't have to be a sad lyric, because the good news is that relapse can be a part of healing. Healing doesn't just go from A to B in a straight line. It goes up and down and round and round and on all different directions. When you look at the cycle of change, relapse is a part of it. And what happens is the more you sort of go around that cycle and you start learning skills to sort of maintain progress, sometimes those skills fail and you end up falling back into old coping mechanisms, right? Whatever that may be, or feeling the way you once felt before, things can flood back. But you then begin on that cycle again. And now what you have in your little toolbox is all of the skills that you learned before that you can now build from. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, there may be multiple relapses, but each time you are building on the progress from before. And hopefully what will happen is those maintaining skills, maintenance of progress skills that you're learning, they get stronger and stronger and last for longer and longer. That rhymed. With a little bit of self-compassion and a little bit of perseverance and hope, those skills become more embedded. So keep going. And finally, lesson 6 is that we all wear masks sometimes. Now, Sleep Token, of course, wear physical masks to conceal their identity, or conceal their identity as far as they can. And in Caramel, again, they spoke about wanting people just to see the music. They said something along the lines of, I just want to hear you sing that top line. He's saying very clearly there, I don't want it to be about us and our identities. We want it to be about the music. That is a great demonstration of how to set a boundary. But it does also make me think that we as human beings are all just little onions, aren't we, with multiple layers. And some of us have built thicker onion layers, like thicker skins, because of what we've been through, and it's kind of harder to get underneath and peel back those layers. And it also makes me think of neurodivergence as well, because as neurodivergent people, we have learned to kind of hide parts of ourselves that aren't necessarily accepted in the neurotypical world. Learning to express yourself where you can, where you feel safe to, and sort of leaning into those vulnerabilities, like we said in lesson 1, can just help you live more of an authentic life, and one that feels aligned with who you are. At some point, we have to explore those inner layers to allow for the most authentic version of self-expression. You deserve to allow yourself that at least. And there we have it, 6 mental health lessons from Sleep Token. There's probably so much more that we could say. Let's face it, Sleep Token just has millions of people in a chokehold. See what I did there? But yeah, it has millions of people just in the fields. And I think there's just multiple reasons for why they capture so many people in that way. If you are a Sleep Token fan, let me know in the comments what your favourite song is and what your thoughts are about all of this. I'd love to hear it. If you enjoy this, give me a little thumbs up, because it really helps me in building my little community in my corner of the internet and getting those mental health messages out there. And if you fancy watching more from me, then stick around until the end and you'll see links to my other Sleep Token video and a video that YouTube handpicked just for you, so you can take your pick. Look after yourselves and thank you so much for being here. Bye!